Chat.
There we go. Now you're live.
Now we're live. Thanks,
Now we're
Zach.
live.
Welcome to Chat TGR. I'm Dan.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joe.
And we are worn and weary
I just
soldiers.
want to interrupt. The
Yes.
stream has got a countdown saying they're on from 10 past 4. Live in if I go on right now. I know there's usually like a delay. So sorry if this is out there, but just in the off chance.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's because I did the timing thing. It doesn't. I mean, are we on? Does people say they can hear us?
Simon can see us, can hear us, no vision.
Okay.
We have vision, let's go.
I've
Right.
given you vision.
Yay. Hello everyone, sorry.
So Lizzie isn't feeling well.
And we are lost without you, Lizzie.
But Zach has stepped in
Last
and
minute,
he's
bless
on
him.
the controls. Mini Mick doing his thing.
Not that many anymore,
How you
Dad.
doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
You okay?
Uh-huh.
You're a little bit off mic.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right.
Hey gang, hello.
Yeah, man alive. Are you feeling it?
Yeah, I've already got a message for Jake.
What?
I've already got a message for Jake from Nick Gatter
Oh, go on, Gats.
saying, please tell me you're going to rinse Jake for saying on camera that Slash is overrated.
Yeah.
Make him repent for his
When
sin.
did you say that?
So I was waiting for this to come up. So PMT were going around interviewing people, going, "Who's the most overrated?" And I panicked for about 10 minutes, and I said me, and that wasn't a good enough answer. And then I said, "Can I say Slash?" Because he's wonderful, but I feel like a lot of people stop at Slash, and you can go much further. But that
Okay.
part of the clip didn't make
All right.
it to the clip. It's just me going Slash. So that's great.
I'm going to say something controversial then to help get you out of
Please,
the
if you
out of
could.
the- All right.
For context as well,
Yeah.
I'd had 4.5 hours sleep, arrived at the show
Welcome
straight
to
away.
where I live, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not built for showbiz. Yeah, Dan,
Okay.
help me, please.
One of my favourite guitar tones and sounds and solos ever, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine.
Sure.
One of my most hated guitar sounds, November Rain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The sound of that just irks me.
Really?
That's really
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah, there you go. So hopefully I'll
Thank
add a
you.
little bit of the
I
hate
needed that,
from
yeah.
you onto me. I don't know. It just doesn't hit me, that song and that solo and that sound. But when you listen to Appetite for Destruction, and there's like, it was all on.
Perfect.
It was
Appetite for
amazing.
Destruction is a
and he is an
perfect.
astonishing guitar
Oh,
player.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, so good, Jake. But bring the November hate on, because I'm sure there'll be loads of people out there who really dig
But
it.
it's just a tough question, isn't it? Who's the most
Oh, you
'cause
can't. It's a horrible.
yeah.
Who asked you that?
PMT? You know the shop, PMT Music? They were
okay.
going around interviewing people. But luckily, I haven't looked at a lot of the comments, but some other dude said Slash, but someone said John Mayer on it, and he is getting destroyed in the comments.
Okay.
So,
Amazing.
brother who said John Mayer, thank you for taking the sword, because it was pointed at me. It's just a mean question, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I can't remember who I said, to be honest.
You're not in the clip, Lucky. You got away with it.
probably said
We
someone.
filmed something with Focusrite as well.
Oh, yeah.
And their
Did you?
question, what was the most underrated guitar player? Lovely question. Very easy question to answer. You be positive, but most overrated is really tough. But I've had about 10 friends link me in like the last hour and a half being like,
Okay.
you said Slash.
Right. Well, there you go. Well,
Yeah.
this
Wow.
is
Exactly.
That's what you get.
What BV said, the question should be underappreciated, not underrated.
absolutely massive thank you to BV,
As always.
who is being an absolute legend and was with us with a very full-on week last week. And so thanks for all your help, mate. You've been amazing. Okay, so yes, last week we launched the TheGigRig pedal boards, which has been incredible.
Huge.
We also put out the video of the Johnny Marr build, which was fantastic and got a picture of that up there as well. We can have a look at that. And then we went and did just to throw a little bit of stuff on because it wasn't stressful enough.
Yeah.
We went and did the Birmingham Guitar Show, which we've got some pictures and we'll get into in a minute. I just want to say thank you to everyone that came to the Birmingham Guitar Show and said hi. It was great to see you all. It was our first trade show in like 17 years, I think.
Our first one.
Yeah.
Your first one ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was overwhelmingly wholesome.
Yeah, it was utterly incredible that, you know, you guys that came and hung out and said hello, we couldn't come up for air. And I mean that in a positive. It was like the day went so quickly because we're chatting and meeting so many lovely people. It's very
Zach,
wholesome.
if you throw up some of the pictures, Zach, and just so people can see what it was like. So we... Like from the word go, it was, I don't think we ever were empty. We were rammed the whole time.
No, not at all.
Um,
The only time I properly got to look around was when you were doing your TPS live thing, because it was like everybody had moved upstairs. So we darted around and checked out the booths went to go try stuff. But
Yeah, I got told off because I didn't eat enough.
yeah.
Got put in a naughty chair and told you are not to speak to another person until you've eaten.
oh, okay.
That was our dearest Lizzie, who's not here.
Okay.
Miss
Yes.
her.
Yes. Lizzie, if you're watching,
We miss
sending you all the good stuff and hope you're feeling better. Bless her. She worked so hard. So my wife and Lizzie went up on the Friday to set up, and they worked so hard getting everything ready beforehand. Oh, of course, in true Dan style, I had forgotten something very important. So I was in Birmingham. I drove back to Swindon early Saturday morning to get the things that I'd forgotten for the show, then drove back to Birmingham. But it was great. It was
wonderful.
so cool.
Utterly mind-blowing.
Yep.
I'm going to start with a question already from Jamal Hill, Richard Albini. Will you guys ever consider doing custom sizes for the pedal boards?
Will we ever do custom sizes for the pedal boards?
We're certainly not done with the sizes that we're offering.
No. So we do have a new size coming out, which is lots of people have asked for this. So we're going to do an extra large, which is G3 and 2 expression pedals. That is going to be a behemoth of a board. I don't know if there's a box big enough to put it in, but that will be a fun one to do. So here's what we'll do. No, we probably won't do custom builds because setting up the machines and stuff to do all the folding and stuff, doing that for a single one-off would cost you
big
just
cost.
thousands and thousands of pounds. So it's just not worth it.
Cool.
What we will do in the future is, we might do some custom runs of colours.
And different sizes.
And different sizes. But I think the sizes that we've got, I'm really, really pleased with them. We'll get some of the questions in a bit about them, but especially for switching system users, they just tick so many boxes.
Yeah.
The doubles have sold incredibly well. We've had a few. Actually, Zach, can you please throw up the picture of Johnny Marr's pedal board? So I wanted to do, and you may have seen this, the video that we did of Johnny Marr's board build. And this was just to show you that you can have a tiny pedal board that is super powerful.
Yeah.
We had a diamond compressor on there. We had a Kingsley overdrive. We had the Source Audio
Collider?
the Collider,
The Chase Bliss
Tram. I mean, really amazing effects,
Yeah.
all controlled by the Atom in the tiny little single. Johnny loves it, and it's done for him to use in the studio and to have some fun. We'll see if he takes it out and plays it live. I mean, hopefully, but it's done for him just to create some sounds and mess around in the studio. I've got my Johnny Marr Jag that I was having a play of it with, and it's just live, such cool sounds.
I've seen your Johnny Marr Jag case around at the office the last couple of days. Yeah,
it's wonderful. So there's that, but we did have a question from some Neural DSP users about, does the small single fit a Neural DSP? And Zach, if you want to throw that up. So it fits the Neural DSP perfectly. You can get, 3 standard size pedals on the top with more than enough room for cabling.
We
power
put
supply
a mini
underneath.
expression on top as well. Yeah,
mini expression. We've got, and that board that you see there, that's all powered by GigRig, because the Gen X powers the Neural as well. So, yeah, that's great. But then, Zach, if you go back to my board, which is the picture of the 3 of us at the end. So this is, the large double, which is my board. Chopped and changed it already.
You have.
But that's the one that I took to the guitar show. And that board for me is just a dream come true, to have everything on there. It's just awesome. So much fun. And yeah, getting all the, because we're getting our teeth sunk into this new project, getting all the sounds together and stuff is just really brilliant fun. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to spend today answering questions and getting into it as much as we can.
Because Lizzie isn't around.
Because Lizzie's not around. That's so right. And we're sort of
be unhinged.
I'm a little bit hurty, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
Still, I think we've all been a bit under the weather and sort of catching up. I told you, but I didn't tell you who called last night.
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, someone called last night to order a G3S, which will blow your mind. Zach, do me a favour. The 2 yellow faders on the left-hand side, they're on 0 at the moment. Pull them down all the way down.
You're not ready. The internet is not ready for this.
There we go.
Isn't that amazing?
The internet is not ready.
Yeah. So
Dan come in specifically, and when his team told you
who it
was, and I said no. I went for a walk at lunch with Teen. I was like, that you didn't think that should come up.
And it was cool. It won't be cool now because I've got to mention it on air. But I was driving with Zach, and the phone call comes in, and it's great. I have a conversation. I hang up the phone, and Zach's like, "Let me get this right." So yeah, it was great. It was a great moment.
We had a funny moment like that at the guitar show with Ben Crome, Mr. Crimson Guitars.
Oh yeah, right.
So I've been watching his videos for the dawn of time,
right?
And he came over to the booth, and Joe and I were like, we just want to say we love what you do, big fans of what you do.
We've watched everything.
Yeah, thank you. And he sort of leant in and he was like, thank you for doing this in front of my son here, because he was walking around with his boy. I reckon was probably about 12.
Yeah.
And he was like, thank you for gushing about me in front of my son.
Yeah.
I needed those points.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And so I stopped says The Edge. Great news. The Edge already uses a G3.
He does.
Just to have you know.
Old news.
He has it in the studio and he loves it. So there you go. Sir Paul, wouldn't that be good?
That would be amazing, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's not him.
No, it's not him. But anyway. Oh, Gregory Hodges says, I just ordered a medium single tier. Looking forward to receiving it. Thanks so much.
Hey, epic, dude.
Yeah. We
nice choice.
It's been the medium single. So funny because I thought the medium single would be the one
most
that would
popular.
go.
So, likewise.
Same. And because it is so what you can fit on these boards is amazing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love a large pedal board, but I didn't know there were so many people like me.
Everybody's gear enabling, evidently. That's wonderful. Yeah. But agreed, the large double, if you're interested, our viewing audience has been the most popular so far.
Yeah.
That's insane. The one and by quite a
By a margin, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is awesome. But
Scott Gaylor says the boards look stellar. Thank you so much.
thanks,
very
Scott.
much.
Thanks.
We tried really hard.
Yeah. Oh, I went down to ATB Guitars today.
That's where you've been.
I'm doing. Mick and I are going to be filming down there soon, and had a look at a couple of things for a very dear friend of mine. And
Mr. RF.
yeah. So yes, but I also took my SG down.
Cool.
Your SG or your junior?
My SG.
Okay, yeah.
My SG Les Paul. And just him to have a look at a couple of things, and he did confirm that it is indeed a very lovely guitar.
He did confirm it's a reissue. Cool, man.
No, so I had one because at the show there's this unbelievable. I don't say too much about it because I don't want anyone else to buy it. But
Are you going to say before you say it, because
Yep.
I've seen pictures, I didn't get to the booth, but is it the triple Bucker black
no.
SG with the Bigsby?
No,
Oh,
I saw that today.
right.
It's
I
incredible.
saw pictures of that and I was like, that's a lot of me.
It's incredible. No, it is a 330
Cool.
Cherry 330 with factory Maestro vibrola,
Oh,
Okay, then.
wow.
1964, and I didn't get a chance to play it at the show. I got a minute to play it, but
Yeah.
didn't plug it in. So while I was there, I plugged it in today, and it was like, oh.
Never seen you on a hollow body.
Well, the thing is, because I did jazz for a while, I love that sound. I didn't play a lot of jazz, but I do love that sound. And hearing that that neck pick up, tone rod off a bit, volume just back a little bit, it's like, it's amazing. The issue is I had it plugged into a deluxe reverb today, and I just had it turned up a little bit, and it starts to feed back in the most beautiful way, but I play quite a lot louder than that. So that
it'd be
would be
running
an
away.
issue.
Yeah.
But the 330, because the 330 is completely hollow, as opposed
Right,
to the
of course, it's
335,
got the centre
which has
block.
the center block.
Yeah.
So, but it's an astonishing thing. So anyway, we're going to film
Oh, that's
with
exciting,
Mike.
dude.
Yeah, it'd be really, really great.
Albert Stevens, I've just seen, you may have missed it, where you say any plans to make an extra large board. You literally Monday morning arrived and went straight over to our
Yep.
people and discussed it.
And said, that's it.
Yep.
We need to get the next one done.
So yes, an extra large board is coming, my friend.
Yep. It's a big board, but funnily enough, because of the way that we manufacture them, the only thing different this is going to have, it'll have 4 latches,
Sure,
front
makes sense
because of
because
the
that's
size of
so big, yeah.
and just because of the amount of weight it's got to carry. But it's still not ridiculous, you know. So anyway, that's going to happen. I'm assuming. So no, let's not say assuming. We have plans to have the first prototype of that, because at the moment, boards are being, as we speak, they're being churned out. Will be the first orders will be absolutely shipped last week of this month. Hopefully, all the back orders will be cleared by the end of the month, and then we're into the new one. So next month we'll have the first off of the
Big boy.
big boy, and we'll go from there. I don't think we need a extra large single tier.
No.
I don't think, or maybe we do. Oh, maybe we do.
I think that would, I don't know. I feel like it gets a bit
Long but not deep.
a bit funny looking.
bit
let's see.
lopsided.
What do you reckon, Zach?
Bit goofy.
Bit goofy?
Just a
Okay.
tiny bit
All
of
right.
goose
All
to
right.
this.
We'll
Zach
see.
is young and down with the kids, and that's what the kids are saying.
Bit
So
goof.
goofy.
Us old men.
Bit goofy from
Bit goofy, confirmed.
Simon VRDJ, who we saw at the show,
Yeah,
mate. Thanks so
Simon.
much for coming down.
And Simon was, bless him, brought us like sugary treats and stuff to keep us
Simon
going. It
was
was
an
really,
absolute
really
legend all
wonderful
weekend.
human being. Thank you so much, Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start getting to these questions. Oh, so the last thing I was going to say,
Sorry, mate,
Simon, before we get to that, actually, you asked for being able to link 2 boards together. I don't know that at the moment this is within the I don't know if it's necessary. I think it adds an extra bit of complication there that perhaps isn't necessary, but I will have a look at it. But one thing we are also doing is looking at getting a retrofittable back panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Modesty.
yeah.
Cloth.
A little
That's,
curtain.
that's right. So yes, guitar show. It was amazing. Literally took no pictures because
No one had time to think
we
about
just
it.
we were full on the whole time. But I took one picture. So it's sort of becoming a tradition that Mick and I finish off the weekend and we do a little masterclass thing upstairs.
Epic.
And Zach, if you want to put that last picture on. So I took a little pano of, because it's just
cool, yeah.
wild
Yeah.
being up there and it's hard to say this without sounding like a tool. But it was rammed and
Honestly,
people couldn't get in.
just before you started, the place cleared.
Yeah, it gave us
It just cleared
us headroom to go and have a
Yeah.
look and
Yeah.
catch up with some friends.
Well, I spoke to people like Mike today at ATB, said he came to get in, but he couldn't get in
wow.
because it was just so they couldn't fit any more in. And so just all these people around just to see Mick and me just fart around for an hour and a half. And it was so great. Mick had his 100-watt Marshall and a 100-watt Two Rock. And what was amazing was he had those amps cranked and the people stood in front and it was just a big warm hug.
Yeah.
You know, and Mick saying, right, it's being really sensitive because when you play loud amps, you've got to be super aware of
So
your right
reactive,
hand.
yeah. Super reactive.
You know, and he's like, so he's got a cranked 100-watt Marshall and a cranked fuzz face. He's like, okay, here's a cranked Marshall, here's a cranked fuzz face. He just turns on the volume, most beautiful, clean sound you've ever heard.
Epic.
Right? And then he turns it all up and it's just, whoa, but it was never harsh.
Yeah.
It was never shrill, was never painful. And
Which
Mick's
there's
saying,
in danger with a Strat and
Yeah,
loud volumes
absolutely.
and yeah.
and then puts on the Les Paul and does the same thing. And like the people in front is like, how's that for you? Is that pretty brutal? And they said, no, it's just wonderful. So volume is not the problem. Crap tone is the problem, but volume is not the problem. If you've got great tone, you can be loud, but loud in the sense of being dynamic.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not, you're not loud all the time. It's loud when you need to be. It's having somewhere else to go,
Yeah.
but that isn't your starting point.
Yeah, I get you.
You know, so it was fantastic, and I had the matchless up there. Want to say a massive thank you to the guys at High Watt, who we will be filming with in the very near future, and I'll be taking my High Watt out there, and they're going to service it for me. I went down to grab a High Watt for the show because I had the matchless, and I was so exhausted. And he said to me, "Do you want me to find someone else who can help you lift that thing upstairs?" Because it was upstairs and stuff. And I'm like, "Oh, dude, thanks so much. I'm just take the Princeton." I just didn't. I didn't have it in me. And the Princeton sounded wonderful, but it was so interesting being stood next to Mick. It was like, this is a good drummer who can lay into it, would have no problem playing against that sound.
Yeah.
I would absolutely have to have more than the Princeton and the
keep up.
That's right.
Interesting.
The matchless was great,
Yeah.
but I would need a fortifying machine, which is what the High Watt is. So
What was funny, you say about you being so spent. There was a moment I saw you after that your face was dropped, and then you lit up, and you turned to me and Joe, and you went, "Are we done in terms of loading out?" And I went, "No, mate," and your face just completely dropped.
yeah. So the guitar shows they're really super fun, but they are a lot of
Just
work.
constantly hanging out with glorious
Yeah.
people, but it is
Okay,
Shout out quickly to Hello Sailor Effects.
You know what? Right, mine's here, so I'm gonna grab it.
And he's gone.
and he's up. He's his way. Okay. Did you have a look in the back yet?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's
I'm going to grab
amazing.
mine. 2 seconds.
Joe at Hello Sailor. So we arrived. This is just before the interview blunder. We arrived straight there, and Joe appears with his boxes, and he's like, "I've made you and Joe some pedals." So Joe, you are a wonderful human being, full stop, and you make an insane. This is the bass. This is like the Kossoff drive, and it sounds so good, and it's so cool. So thank you, man. And
I've
you
got
are
one of them.
wonderful. Have you?
Yeah.
Mine's
And
already on my board,
he's-
so I can't pull it off.
He's done that for me in the as a tribute to Red. So he's got the cherry. He's done it like a red
Really?
metallic thing with the cherries, reds and cherries, and that painted on there. And it's a really wonderful
Glorious
thing. So
human being.
yeah. So thank you, Joe. You are a superstar human. Just to hammer that fact home, Joe's done a couple of experience days, and Joe's stuff it's expensive because it's brilliant and it's all handmade
artwork,
with
yeah,
the
the
best
wiring is
components,
artwork,
right?
yeah.
Just he made me my jiu-jitsu drive when I got my
He did.
Oh, of course,
we
yeah.
purple
thought it
belt.
might be yours.
So he but when he came to the experience day, he made a pedal for everyone else that was
Yeah.
on the experience day, and he made me a clone of a train wreck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, cool.
Train wreck amplifier, which is called the Shipwreck.
Of course.
And it's unbelievable. So really
you're
beautiful.
wonderful, my dude.
He's in it. This is one of the things I love about this community. So many people are in it for good reasons. They really become part of the community and they want to share and help people sound great. And Joe's, I think, exemplifies that as well as anyone in the community. It's
Yeah,
really
I
beautiful.
agree.
So well done, buddy. Thank you so much. Okay.
Right, questions,
Right,
boys.
questions. Let's get going. So I did see one here. Again, any questions, just throw them in.
What recommendations you have for an expression pedal for my G3 and Strymon pedals? What is a dual pedal like yours do?
Oh, okay. Interesting. So
Start there.
BV's saying don't forget this. Sorry, don't forget the questions if you scroll all the way up. Okay, yep. So there's two things with the expression pedal, with the dual expression pedal. You've got two outputs. So one can go into if you've got an analog pedal that doesn't do MIDI, that takes expression, you can plug into that. And the other side can go directly into G3. And then you can control your expression through MIDI to the pedals that can take MIDI. So that is one good thing about it, is that you can control two things at the same time. The problem comes if you only want to control your MIDI pedal and you've happened to have that analog pedal in the same.
So, yeah, on at the same time, yeah.
It's a bit tricky. If to solve that though, who makes it?
Mission in the Expressionator.
No.
No,
We all have one on the board.
Oh,
Do
the
they?
MTET.
The MTET.
Oh, right.
OBNE.
OBN, Old Blood Noise Endeavors. Yeah. All I would say is with the expression pedal is find one that you like the feel of. The TheGigRig, if you're a G3 owner, there's really fantastic new feature on it, which is the calibration of the expression pedal. And I just love that thing. If you find an expression pedal that you like the feel of, the calibration feature in G3 will make it work.
Yeah. You basically, for you G3 users that may not have come across this yet. So on the expression menu, if you click down, it will now say like heel calibration and toe calibration, and you put it to the heel and you hit it and it will come up with a percentage of what you're missing, and then G3 works out the equivalent, so you get like this perfect sweep across the whole thing. So even if like the pot in your expression pedal is a bit sketchy and it's not sweeping the whole way, G3 now reads your top and your bottom point and calibrates that for you.
Yeah. Simon says, Beaver's saying, sadly Lizzie is ill today, so it's just the boys. And Simon says, oh no, who's going to keep them away from Tangent City? And Beavy says, that'll be me. So I'm getting text messages from Beavy every now and then.
I warned BV and he put, I hope Lizzie gets well soon. I will have my strict producer's hat on today then. Cool. I'm just scrolling through from the other questions.
Simon says, I saw Dan's interview with KDH. Was great to see it. And the gnome featuring in KDH's interview. Yes, that was cool.
Can G3 Atom receive MIDI messages to bang up and down? Not at the moment, but we have.
But you can send it a MIDI message to go to a
can send
specific
it.
bank.
You can send it to go to a specific bank, but you can't send a CC message to.
Oh, to bank up and down with the system message. Okay, but that we can get on that. That's
in all honesty, I don't know if you know this yourself, Dan, but our software engineer is coming in tomorrow at 10 to sort of touch base and see where we're at and what we're moving on with next.
Okay, great.
I'm just scrolling through the chat. Another shout out I just want to quickly give is to Tom Kay, who was with Carl Longbottom the week.
Legend.
And we hung out with you all
Yeah,
weekend, Tom,
lovely.
and you are a beautiful human being. Thank you for being a legend.
And
Yeah,
Marcus
great,
Reeves.
Yeah.
Thanks for the beans, Marcus Reeves.
Marcus in the chat,
I don't think he is, but I'm,
just shouting him out, right?
just shouting out because I remember him and I know
So-
his name.
Daniel Mincher says about the pedal boards, could you make it modular in a way in the future to add things? So
It kind of is already.
yeah, it is in the sense that you can add the wah wall, or you can take the wah wall off and go back to the long tier. We can't break the laws of physics, but we can bend them. It is one of the things with the folded aluminium, and to keep the strength and the integrity in there, is that if you start adding loads of
Like holes and
holes where you can connect things and stuff, that's where you start to lose integrity. Not in the boards themselves, but where you've connected things. And
No one wants a pedal board to fall apart.
No. The problem as well, and this is from I'll put my marketing head on for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with a modular pedal board is that you can show examples and stuff of what it would look like, but then actually putting that together in something that we can put on the website and say, here you go,
yeah,
you can buy this, is a bit tricky. Whereas if we say, if you've got a general size in mind, so we've got pictures of pedal boards with the switcher and you can see how many pedals you can get on there, I'm going to do a better job of explaining the exact sizes and things, so when you're planning your boards you can get out your ruler and stuff. But
I have reached out to Pedal Playground as well, so hopefully some point very soon in the
cool.
not distant future they will be up on that
Yeah,
tool
great.
as well.
But yeah, the way it works at the moment, it's simple in that you can see how things fit and stuff. When it becomes modular, it's much more difficult to wrap your head around, okay, how that would fit. And then the modular nature of things can reduce the structural integrity. So what we're trying to do is make these things as strong and as light as they can be. Yeah. So yeah, they're a little bit modular in that you can change the tiers, you can do all that sort of stuff, but being able to clamp things on together is
A whole new.
not saying never, but I'm saying I need to get in. I'd need to get in there. Oh, so question from Joe. Thanks for this, BV. He says he wants to know how I got on with the DevTech pedal from Sydney. I have one and it's really well built, and it's great, I found. So it's on the board.
Floydy one, yeah, I'm surprised
So
you went straight on the board.
Yeah, he literally
Right.
went straight on.
I'm, funnily enough, in the new band that I'm doing, we're doing a few Pink Floyd songs, and I found for that it was, so I'm using what they call, it's the Dark Side of the Moon. Now, I've emailed the guys, said I think it sounds beautiful. He's done a really great job, and wish you all the best with it. I'm using it. I don't like. Okay, how do I say this? When someone says this pedal is going to make you sound like John Mayer,
Right.
Yeah.
or this
there you
pedal
go,
is going
yeah.
to make you sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan,
Yeah.
I really don't like that.
Yeah.
Right? But I get why people do it, because it's like you get that instant association. The Dark Side of the Moon pedal from DevTech is really interesting because, like, when you turn it on, the LED goes through all the colours of the rainbow, like Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, cool.
So it's it's really clever, right? It's a real tribute to that. But it's a proper silicon style fuzz face, but it's the way it's built is with it's almost like a tone bender in that there's a transistor buffer stage at the front, so it works with a high impedance signal, low impedance signal. Certainly a lot better than most fuzz faces do. But he's got a bass and a treble control and a different amount of gain into it, and it sounds incredible. I don't know. I think this is the thing that I find conflicting, because I think any Floyd fans who plug into this are going to go, "Oh, this sounds amazing." And maybe to get people to plug into it and go, "Oh, this sounds amazing," you've needed to do something like that. I don't know. I struggle with the whole "this will make you sound like Gilmour" thing. But this pedal is it's done as a tribute to the sounds on that album.
Sure.
So it's a little bit different.
Cool.
But I plugged it in. I loved it so much. It's gone straight on the board. And it really does sound incredible. So hats off to DevTech in Australia. The build quality is superb. The layout, the transistor choices, everything in it is really beautiful. So yeah. So thank you, Joe. It's very, very groovy. Okay, what else we got?
Howdy, is the Pig Dog Mac still Dan's fave?
So the Pig Dog Mac is a treble booster, and I'm going to say it's a type of treble booster. And I've never heard a treble booster do what it does. So it is an out-and-out treble booster, like astonishing treble booster.
Yeah.
But it's also a fuzz.
Sure.
So it's not also a fuzz. It can get fuzzy in the most glorious way. It's the only treble booster that I've ever heard that you can use into a cleaner amplifier.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Or an amplifier that's
right.
an amplifier that's being
actually.
pushed on the edge.
Yeah.
Most treble boosters will work, but this with a cleaner amplifier, so treble booster, volume control, best clean sounds ever. But when you unleash, it needs to be going into a gain stage, because the output of it cuts all this bottom end, pushes all these mids and top, and that needs to be going into something that's going to limit and compress, and that's where the glory of treble boosters happen.
Right, I see, yeah.
The Mac, you don't need that extra gain stage.
Interesting.
It is
Already on tap.
wild.
Yeah.
It still sounds amazing pushing into things.
Yeah, wicked.
But you can, when you crank it up and it limits and everything itself. And I called Stephen, not Steve. I called Stephen at Pig Dog and I just said, I had to give you a call because I'm playing this thing and I'm overwhelmed. And this is in lockdown.
Yeah.
And it was really sweet, actually, because he's like, I'm just so grateful that you get it. You know, because he works so hard to nail those sounds that he's hearing. He's always trying to push it, and I've never heard a treble booster do that. So if you're after a treble booster that is flexible, you know, you can actually use it by itself. It's very hard to go past it. It's amazing.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
I have 6 stereo pedals, and I want them all in stereo on the G3S, and 6 mono pedals that I want to use on the G3S. How do I do this?
So 6 stereo pedals, get 2 atoms.
Done. Next.
Send us an email at support@thegigrig.com with everything you want to do, and I will drink my body weight in coffee and figure it out.
Let me support@thegigrig.com. Joe's not been doing the camera thing long enough to know that his ADHD is just need to slow down a little bit.
Because everything you do is really, really quickly, and then all the people can't hear you and they don't really quite understand what you're saying. Especially when we had a Red Bull and a few coffees today as well.
Are you? How many
And
coffees
ADHD
in?
meds.
How many coffees in are you?
I can't possibly say. Can't possibly say.
I've poured you 2 coffees and a Red Bull, and you've had your ADHD meds.
And it was really strong coffee. I would know.
I think I'm on 4 coffees.
Oh boy,
Holy
that was
moly.
That's an undershot. It was
would-
basically empty when I went to see it.
And ADHD meds.
that would end me, dude.
I think I'm tired for you.
We've also got a question about me doing a rig rundown with John Stockman.
Simple boy.
Look, if Dan will take us to Australia, or John Stockman will come over here, I'm ready.
Let's all just hang out with Carnival. I'd love that.
I'm ready.
You're Australian. You can make that happen, right?
Can I?
You're
I
all
think
like,
we've told the story of Zach's first beer.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you've met Carnival
there it
as well,
goes.
haven't you?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, it was so. This was so beautiful. So the Carnival boys, if you don't, Joe.
Just 1 second.
Yep.
Thank you, Todd Roy. I may have a problem too because I understood what Joe said exactly.
There you go.
Thank you.
So Roy, you also drink too much coffee.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem understanding that either. Maybe it's just
Exactly.
all of you
You all
lot.
have ADHD, apart from
Okay,
me.
right.
Yeah, lad.
So,
Yeah.
so Carnival is one of Zach's favourite bands, and obviously known the boys for a long time. The boys have been using our gear. John's been consistently using our gear for over a decade, and whenever they're over, he calls us, come and hang up and come and say hi. And they were playing at Bristol, and I took Zach, and I think as a caring father, I've ruined gigs for my children forever. Because where were you standing when we went and saw Foo Fighters, Zach?
On the stage.
Yeah, so we sort of stood next to Josh
Yeah.
Freese and
You look.
Yeah.
You look, but you can't touch.
And-
damn you, Steinhardt.
and but anyway, we went and saw Carnival at the O2 in Bristol,
yeah, wicked venue.
and they were amazing, right? Weren't
When are
they,
they
Zach?
not? When are they not?
They were just-
Incredible.
just unbelievable.
Holy
And anyway,
moly.
so I took Zach upstairs to say hi and meet the boys and stuff, and they are, I can't really say typical Australians, because what is a typical Australian, but if I think they are just,
Just
they are
stereotypical Australian.
they really are, they're
with
just so lovely and just blokey and walking around and punching each other in the nuts, and it's like, it's
One of my memories with them is of meeting them, offering us a beer, and then needing a bottle opener, and then Drew just grabbing a bottle of water and handing it to me, and I was like, "That's not a beer, mate." And he went, "What?" He flipped the bottle of water over and hooked like the cap off the
There you
beer, and I was
go.
like, "Of course, you're Australian. You'll find any way to get in a beer."
that's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was talking to the boys, and it's all great. Zach's talking to the drummer, because Zach's a drummer,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Steve Judd is the king.
He
is the ultimate
"Oh my
He's the
word!"
goat. He's the
and he also
ultimate goat.
plays on the song "We Are." He plays my favorite drum fill ever. That's like over 8 bars.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
anyway, we're talking to the boys, and they start handing out beers, and John says to Zach, "Do you want a beer?" I think he was 16 or something, and no, he was 18. He was 18.
Legally speaking, he was 18.
But and Zach looks at me like, "Dad,
Please,
can I have a beer?" And I'm like, if you're gonna have your first beer,
It's pretty good.
have it
wasn't
with some Australians.
Yeah,
have
that's
it with have it with the boys. So Zach has a Corona, and at the end, all the boys signed the Corona bottle for him. So he's still got it in his
that's
room.
cute.
It's still hung up on like my banners of everything cool I own. It's still
that's
there.
really pure.
Yeah, no, it's really great.
Yeah.
I think our record was 5 times. We saw them 5 times during a tour.
Wow.
Yeah, because they don't because
That was our record.
come over that often, because Australia is a
Please come
long
back,
way.
Carnival. We
Yeah.
Yeah,
miss
we
you.
miss you.
Yeah, it was just the best.
They are headlining Arctangent Festival
Yeah.
this year.
No.
They
Okay,
are.
well, so there.
Yeah.
So there. Brilliant. Okay.
Things.
2 a.m. The band says, "What's everyone's favourite thing that they saw at the show?"
The TheGigRig pedalboard. Next question.
The Zona bass.
Yeah, you were.
The
enamored
Zona
with that.
bass made me emotional.
Really?
Yeah, it's the
Like a Zon
Finra.
kebab.
Yes. Honestly, go check out Zona Guitars.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Go check out Zona Guitars.
Z-O double N?
ZO single NA.
Zona.
Zona. Zona would be double. How you going?
No.
Zona.
Zona.
Go on, Dad. Show us how it's done.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh, now,
mate. That's what we're waiting for.
That kind of Zona.
There we go.
This is a Zona.
I see you've played Knifey Spoony before.
Yeah, the Zona bass made me emotional.
Okay.
It was just the most uncompressed, expressive bass I've ever played. From like the lightest touch to hammering it home, it just responded. It never felt like it compressed.
Okay.
In a glorious way. Single pickup, which is basically wound. It looks like a Music Man pickup.
Okay.
But it's got really fat magnets on one side and two skinnies on the other.
Right.
And you've got a pickup wheel, so you can blend between the two sides of this humbucker, essentially.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Very, very nice.
You, sir?
I really liked the
coffee.
The Culture Vulture.
Culture Vulture.
Oh, the Culture Vulture. That's what I was going to say.
The Bearded Vulture.
The Bearded Vulture, which is their take on the Culture
Did
Vulture.
you have a play?
It was incredible to meet Mikey Demus as well. I was like a big Skindred fan. That was you did that thing that I just hear you go, Jake, turn around, you're like, I want you to meet this guy. Hi, nice to meet you, sir.
Mikey Demus fist pumped me, but he's got more rings
He's got
than,
huge
than
rings,
Jake.
yeah.
And I had like an indent for like the rest of the day.
Mikey Demus is a beautiful guy.
He is, man.
And he is really passionate about this stuff. But, you know, because obviously I've known him for a while. We filmed with him and I wanted to get you, because I know you guys are fans. I know you've seen him a bunch. So I just thought I'd...
Yeah.
Well, it was really cool because I came down and I said, look, is it cool if I bring the boys down to meet you? Because they're fans. And they said, yeah, no worries. And then he walked up. He walked up to say hi.
Yeah, it was so sad.
They're epic, because there was a moment that there was me, you, Mikey Demus and Ben Crow.
Yeah.
And I was
and me
like,
and Jake were just in the middle.
14-year-old
me and Jake in the middle just exchanging looks like, this is real. This is real.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. Yeah. So Mikey launched at the show the Bearded Vulture, which is like a pedal version of the studio equipment, the Culture Vulture, and it's incredible. That was really cool. I also got to try the Chi Etherealizer from Walrus.
Right.
That was really cool.
Right.
The Origin SVT big rig.
Oh yeah,
bass rig. Oh, SVT in a pedal.
Oh, cool.
It
Okay.
was beautiful. Loved that.
Great.
What about you, Daniel? Short of that 330 that you saw,
And me and Jake.
and yeah, just seeing me and Joe in. Dan's scrambled eggs Sunday morning.
Dan's scrambled eggs were next level. Watching him make the scrambled eggs was
I've heard a big game about your eggs for years, and
can say confirm.
very,
You're very
nice.
welcome.
Make some
You need to try his spaghetti. It's like 10 times
I've heard
better.
a lot about his bolognese as well.
It's like legendary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
no.
What did you see that you enjoyed other than the 330?
I'd like seeing you guys at the show.
Oh, mate, thank
Aw.
you.
It was great seeing you guys in your element and seeing, you know, loads of people coming up, and you know, it was great.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool. So that was good.
Yeah, epic experience.
I think your red is more popular than anyone ever.
That was mad.
Yeah,
actually.
people would ask. They go, "Is that the one?" And like we've got like a special reissue that we put out, but no, it was the one. It was very wholesome.
And loads of people getting photos and
holding it. Yeah, it was very pure,
that was
getting
nice.
to fulfill those wishes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Stanislav Margaret, his first time catching us live. G'day, mate. He said, Dan, you seriously need to go to Haywards Heath to see Macari's and getting one of their fuzzers. So I've got a bunch of Macari's fuzzers.
Yeah.
And I love them. We did a really great show before they moved from. They weren't on Denmark Street. They were just off Denmark Street, but they've moved from there now. But we did a show with them, and we had Josh Scott there as well.
Oh yeah, I remember you doing that.
Yeah, so that was really cool. But yeah, the Macari stuff is fantastic. So here we go. Forrest Lee says, I turn trails on the loop with my microcosm, but when I go to another loop, it still cuts off. Am I missing a step, or does it need to be on the loop I'm going to and not the one I am on?
Needs to be where you're going to, not where you're on.
And then you need to make sure that post gain is turned on.
That's right. And also, you need to make sure that if you're controlling it via MIDI with presets, that there is trails enabled on the pedal itself. So the good example of this is the timeline. We had people going, we try and timeline it and through G3, it all sounds great, but when I go to another preset for trails, the trails cut off. And I'm like, okay, are you changing a preset via MIDI? It says yes. Okay, so if you're doing that, you need to turn trails on inside the timeline itself so that when you change presets, you still have trails going over that. So, the trails in G3 work just beautifully. And once you get into them, it's hard to go back. Grant Dalton says, hello, gents, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome.
Looking at getting a G3S Atom and am curious what the recommendation is for running a volume pedal post-drive rather than pre-switcher. Yeah, so if you have an expression pedal, will change the gain either pre-loops, apart from the auxiliary loop, it's after the auxiliary loop. It'll change the pre-normal effects loop or post-normal effects loop. If what you want is an expression pedal that sits after the drives but before everything else, it's best putting a volume pedal in one of the loops in G3. And what that will give you is then the ability to put the volume pedal anywhere in the chain that you like. So
I do that with the more or less.
Right.
That's why I have the more or less on my board.
Right.
So I can have it after my gain stages, but before my ambient stuff.
Right. Very cool.
Sug.
Okay. Have we missed any questions?
I'm unsure.
Here we go. Steve Starkey says, hey fellas, my front of house pedal board has a wah, a pedal plus, an expression and a volume plus the G3S and 4 other pedals.
Wicked.
Halo size to go on top rack. How do I customize for that? Steve, send us an email, because when we get to specifics like this, it's best that we'll go through it with you. We're here. We're ready to help. Just send us a message. And
there's a few chaps at the show, bless them, that would ask me a signal chain question, and I'd be like, sure, blah, 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 and they would glaze over, and I'd be like, just email me and I'll draw you something up. And then
you had someone in the car park ask you, to be fair.
I did. You're right. I had to chat. That's really funny.
Yep.
When I was getting your cases out of the car for the show, this chap went, you're one of the TheGigRig guys? I went, yeah. He went, oh, I have a signal chain question for you. And I was like, I'll meet you in the booth. Like, half dropping my holdall, not trying to hit the Tesla next to me.
Yeah.
If you're watching, hello, dude.
Tom Kay, who is Carl's unpaid intern, says,
The boy.
hey up lads, pleasure chatting with you over the weekend. Still gutted we couldn't make it up to the live show.
Because he was hanging out with me.
That's great.
Yeah, they're wonderful. And Carl's guitars were just insane. The necks on them are... Because you've got his Telly Deluxe style thing, right?
Yeah, I
the
do. It's
C4
great.
green one.
It's wonderful.
Gorgeous.
Michael Giliberto says, do any of you set up pedals with top mount jacks flipped around so that the cable run from the switcher to the pedal is lessened? Right. I that's a great question. I don't, because I want to be able to see. If things are upside down for me, I get confused. But one of the things with the twin tier board is that those pedals that are on that front tier, they are connected directly into G3.
Yeah.
I can use normal patch leads.
Yeah.
Because it's such a short run. But if it makes sense, if you've got a pedal that's underneath the board, you absolutely can turn it upside down and just go dink dink straight in.
Yeah.
So
Ding, ding,
none of us
straight
do
in.
that.
Yeah, none of us do that, but you can do that if you like.
I've done it once when I had the
In college.
Earthquaker. Yeah, in my young experimenting days, the Earthquaker tentacle that hasn't got any. It's just a
In and out on a foot
octave.
switch.
Yeah, and I had a Y cable that wasn't quite long enough for it to be flipped the other way. So I have done that once.
Okay.
When I was young. And
Ross Philpott says, thanks for giving me the time of day at the Birmingham show. Such wonderful folk. Mate,
oh, thank
Always.
you,
so
man.
welcome. And always. And I say this all the time, but this is very important. We're all into this stuff, and being into this stuff is a lot to have in common with people. You know, Mick and I think, is a good example of this. We play guitar very differently. Our taste in music is very different, but we're into it. And, you know, he's one of my best friends, but our relationship is built on being into this stuff.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of my really good friends, it's based on, oh, have you heard this new thing?
Yeah.
You know, being out and chatting about
Yeah.
it. It's, if you're into it, then we are
Welcome to the
kindred
party.
spirits, my friends. So
Yeah.
absolutely, time of day is a given.
That was the best thing about it. There were so many people in that, you know, you'd be talking to one person and they would feel like they need to leave the booth.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, no,
Yeah.
Come
just
in,
hang
bro.
get
out.
involved.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
all just like hang out. We love pedals.
Gav Thorpe says the calibration update was absolutely perfect. Now using my Moog EP3 as a perfect volume pedal.
Beautiful. Cheers,
Cool.
Gav.
Bingo. That's great.
Gavala.
Gav Thorpe says, please remember the tuner stomp suggestion. Press on to tuner, press again to return to wherever you
Yeah,
are.
Gav liked the idea of adding tuner to Stompbox. That you could stomp it on and off.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
we'll
will
have a look
speak.
at that. That's,
I will speak to Mike about that tomorrow.
2 a.m. the band says, do you by chance want a submarine design engineer to come and design a board that will survive at 250 meters underwater? I know a guy.
It's a very specific friend you've got there.
It's, yeah, and the gig market for 250 meters under the water is shockingly limited.
Dolphins are not our largest demographic, are
No.
they?
No.
They're on the charts, but not like
they
the.
are on the charts,
Yeah.
you're right, but not the highest.
Thank you, mate. That's very kind.
We'll let you know.
This is great. So yeah, okay. I think we've got most people's questions. So next week, excuse me. Once we're all over
This
is the excitement catching up with us, because the last 2 weeks have been brutal.
Like, can you believe the board announcement was a week ago? That
That's
feels
wild.
Yeah,
months ago.
yeah. Can I just say as well on that? Right, this is wild. Right, a video on a pedal board in less than a week. It's a pedal board.
Yeah.
46,000 views,
That's a lot of kindred nerds.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
That is.
So that's amazing. Thank
How many
you so
computers
much.
did you have to have open at one time and press refresh on?
He's your mate.
And Johnny
couldn't he?
Marlborough Builds has 40,000
It's wild.
in the same time. So yeah, it's amazing. So thanks to everyone. That's
It
Yeah.
really does mean everything.
it's
Truly.
huge. It's huge. We're into this stuff, and it feels like there's a lovely energy in this space at the moment, and we all
Agreed.
felt it at the guitar show.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to say, you know, there's a lot going on, and I don't know about you guys, but you know, there's every now I pick up on a lot of people talking down a lot of stuff, and but I'll just say that there's a lot of great energy, and when you're at the guitar show, and people are buying stuff and they're vibing and they're still really excited about creating music and creating sounds, and you know, I think it's really great. I think
Yeah.
and also having seen the same thing at NAMM,
Really cool.
you know, because I didn't know what to expect, having not been to
A good
NAMM so
couple of
long.
you, yeah.
And because I remember, and I'll just finish on this, I remember going to Music Messa back in the day when it was huge, and it was epic. And then I remember going to see it, I think it was the last year that it ever was, and it was nothing. It was
Oh, that's a
dead,
shame.
right? and because they put their prices up to something insane. But then, and I thought, I didn't know what NAMM was going to be like. I thought, is this,
death of the trade show.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
I went to NAMM and it was heaving.
Beautiful.
Right? Heaving. And everyone's got new stuff and everyone's really excited and stuff. And then Birmingham Guitar Show, same thing. Just so many creative people, but doing good business. And, I'm really excited about the industry. I think we're in a really good place.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, thank you all for being part of this, and thank you all for your input and just being part of this amazing community that we love dearly. And have a fantastic week. And any questions, let us know. If we didn't get your questions sorted or you have something more specific, support@thegigrig.com and we will get back to you.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thanks you so much, Zach. You've been awesome.
Ducky.
Thank
My
you,
pleasure.
BB. Thank you, linesman. Thank you, ball boys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Take
Hitting the button.
Hitting the buttons.
There we go.
Thank you, buddy.